Hey guys, so we are jumping right into today's video, starting with the first method, and that is the two-strand method. So the two-strand method is when you take a piece of the braiding hair and wrap it around your client's hair, and your client's hair will be the third strand. Once you have the braiding hair on top of the client's hair, use your pointer to come right underneath the natural hair, as I'm doing here, and then braid. Take your time to get your grip, and then go ahead and braid. So once you have the hair now getting ready to turn again, now that the hair is in your left hand, you're going to then split a piece of the hair and add it to the natural strand and then continue to braid. I hope that makes sense. So when you are splitting the piece, you are splitting the piece of the braiding hair to add back to the natural strand. Now at this point, I go ahead and just turn my hands so that I can get ready to do the braid down. And I use this color here because I really wanted you to see how your client's hair can still be tucked throughout each method. So as you see, your braiding hair is able to cover the client's natural hair by just gently pulling it over the top of the client's natural hair. And then you just continue to braid. And again, you can see right here where the natural hair color is sticking out a little bit there. You just take the braiding hair and just gently pull it over the top. So now we're on to the second method, which is the three-strand method. And in this method, we're going to be working with 3 strands of hair. So instead of the 2 strands where we didn't have to split anything, this time we're going to split that strand into 2 sections. Now it's not 2 even sections. One section is 1/3, the other section is 2/3. Then we're going to interlock those sections, and now we're going to have to get our finger placement, okay? So go ahead and get your fingers situated by just going ahead and going underneath those strands and putting them in between your middle and pointer, and then turning it over to grab the hair. So once you have your client's natural hair, in this case our mannequin's hair, that strand, you're going to hold on to it until you get a nice firm grip in your right hand. Now, you're going to go ahead and start to braid just as you normally would. Once you do your first movement, we want to make sure that the client's hair is right underneath the braiding hair. And once you have it underneath, you just go ahead and you keep on braiding as you normally would. Now in doing it this way, you may notice that you are going to have to split your client's natural hair into 2 and align it with the other strands, because when you first gripped this, you had all of it in one. So I hope that makes sense. We're going to go ahead and split the client's hair into 2 just for more of an even distribution of the hair throughout the duration of the braid. So now we're on to the 3-strand split method, which is method number 3. And how this method differs from the other 2 is because not only are we splitting the hair, the braiding hair, but we are going to split the client's hair into 3 equal sections. The thing with this method is that by splitting the client's hair first into 3 equal sections, it helps the braiding hair to align with the 3 sections that are being made right here. So for this method, we're actually just going to, again, we're going to use those 2 pieces that we used before, and we're just going to interlock them just like this. So it's just basically putting one piece underneath the other. I do apologize because I didn't get the actual footage of this in the last clip, but as you can see, you just interlock them just like I just did. So once I have the hair separated, I am going to go ahead and line it up with the 3 strands of my client's natural hair. So what I like to do is I like to grab the middle strand first, then I grab the strand that is furthest to the left. Once I have that together, I go ahead and do a braid movement. And after that first braid movement, this is when I grab the strand that's furthest to the right. So you see how I just guide that into my hand there, and then I can go ahead and continue my braid movement. So you could see how I am still, even with this method, I am making sure that the client's natural hair is behind the braiding hair. And with this method, you have a lot of control to be able to do that, because there's even distribution right from the beginning. So because you are laying those 3 strands on top of the 3 strands, there's not a lot of switching around that you have to do. So I do like this method for that reason. The only thing about this method, and it could just be me, maybe I haven't figured it out just yet, but I'm not always a fan of how the knot looks with this method. Now I know there are other braiders who use this method and it comes out great, so this could just be an area where I need to work on. So let's just jump right into method 4, which is the anchor braid method. Now I do have a video that is dedicated just to this method, and I will place it at the top here. But for this method, we're just going to go ahead and braid our client's natural hair first. You don't have to braid it that far down. Again, we're going to interlock our pieces. But for this method, I did want to turn my hands the other way, because there could be braiders that braid this way. So I wanted to demonstrate that as well. So this time my hands are in the knuckles down position, and you can check out the 5 ways to do feed-in braids to see about that method. But that is the knuckles down method. And as you can see, I just align the hair right over the top of that braid and continue to braid. So again, if you want more detail on how to do this, you can also check out my how to do medium-sized box braids, and it is the no rubber band method, and it will be listed in the description section as well. And again, just to create an even distribution, I'm just taking some hair from that strand there and placing it right behind my finger to attach it to, or to join it with, should I say, that particular strand that's behind my thumb. So I'm just pulling the hair back here so that you are able to see, but let's just go ahead and jump right into the rubber band method, which is method number 5. So I'm sure that you are familiar or have at least heard of the rubber band method, and to be honest, this is not the size braid that I would use the rubber band method for, but just for the sake of presentation, I'm just going to go ahead and walk you through it anyway. So here is where you just use your rubber band and don't tie it too many times. So I'm going to use the 2-strand method like we did before, and I am going to just lay it right over the top of that rubber band and start my braid off. And then once I hit this portion, I'm going to split that braiding hair again so that I can be sure to have 3 evenly distributed sections. And then just continue to braid. And again, you know, you can tuck the hair right behind the braiding hair. For some reason, I just don't seem to really have to right now. But anytime that hair does begin to peek out, just be sure to tuck it right behind the braiding hair. And now it is time for the bonus method. So I hope that you are still here watching this video. The bonus method is knotless. So I do have knotless videos on my channel as well. However, I never actually did a voiceover for the knotless video. So this is my first time actually giving step-by-step instruction on how to complete a knotless braid. So to start off, you are going to braid your client's hair and separate it in 3 sections. And I like to only do one movement before I add a piece of the braiding hair. So some people braid it down a little bit first before they start adding pieces, but I like to add it in there immediately, right after the first braid movement. So you can see that I am taking the client's hair and the braiding hair and just continuing a braid movement just as you normally would. Again, just like a feed-in braid, when my hand is on the left-hand side, then I go ahead and I add the second piece. And for my knotless, and I guess this would depend on what size you're doing, I like to add between 4 and 5 pieces per braid. Now that can be different depending on the size. I haven't really experienced or experimented with other sizes just yet besides medium, but even for my medium, I still like to add about 3 or 4 or even 4 to 5 pieces of braiding hair, but it really all depends. So again, every time my left hand is open, that is when I add a piece of braiding hair, and I do that until the braiding hair is used up. So here is the last piece, and I'm just going to continue to braid. Now with knotless, it does take a little longer to tuck the hair. Like, it's not going to be immediately tucked right at the root, but thankfully, even with using this rainbow hair, I was pleasantly surprised how quickly the rainbow hair showed up, even though I was doing the knotless method. And once you are actually having the braid, once you actually have the braid started, then again, you're going to do the same tucking methods just as we did in all the other methods. You just take the natural hair and just slightly tuck it right behind the braiding hair. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This was just a few ways that I could think of how to start off a box braid multiple ways. And so for those who asked me to do this video, I hope that you really find it helpful. And if there was any of the methods that you saw that you want to see in more detail or just want to see a dedicated video to, go ahead and let me know in the comments and I will be happy to do that. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And we will be starting a Facebook group, which there will be more details to come. So as always, God bless.